Hello, everyone. Just going to get this set up a little bit here. Okay, fantastic. All right, so welcome to our Shreem Brzee Global Chanting session here on Saturday, May 30th, 2020. My name is Sucharita. For those of you who don't know me, wishing you all a very warm welcome. This is incredible times that we live in right now. And I was running a little bit late because someone had said, hey, check out the riots that are going on right now. And it's not just in one place, it is in many places around the world. So what I'd like to do is say hello to everyone. Please pop your hello and I'm from wherever you're from. And also your intentions for your prayers. When we create this space of peace and prosperity, we're not just chanting a mantra, we're actually asking the divine to come in. We need divine intervention. No time in history have we experienced this global phenomenon, this pandemic with the virus, and then our economical situation. The economy is just taking such a dive. I was watching something that an economist had put out, a YouTube video, and he was sharing about, this is no kidding, this is worse than the Depression. And that's why Dr. Pillai wants us to come together and chant. He wants us to be able to do something other than be worried and concerned. Yes, that is part of being in this world. But if we can all appeal to the divine, come in, this is so messed up. So thank you everyone for joining. Please post your intention or your prayer for tonight's practice. We're going to make this a very practical session, as we have been every time we come together. We're creating this network of light workers who want to raise the vibration internally and then radiate that energy out into the space, into their place that they're in with their family, their community, to keep everything as calm as possible so we can do something other than be creating fear, anxiety, frustration. And you can hear, and I can even feel in my voice, I was just shocked to see, here we are in the 21st century at this time where we've seen how violence is just not going to do, the world any world of good. It's maybe in some way it will. However, for people to suffer, and none of us wants to see that. So God bless everyone who is experiencing this. It's a live stream from some of the different on the YouTubes in some of the different states in the US. I was asking about whether this is happening in Canada, and so far, so good, it's not. But that doesn't mean that it couldn't. And so we've got to get we've got to navigate this in a way that wisdom is going to intervene. And we are going to pray that we are in the right place at the right time, thinking and saying and doing the right things, not just because there are groups gathering and everyone else is doing it. And just going as a domino effect. That's not going to cut it. So God bless everyone. We'll dedicate this practice to not only people in the US who are experiencing these kinds of things going on in their cities, also around the world. And so we will get into our practice today with that intention set for our global community to experience peace and prosperity. And so thank you everyone for committing to this challenge. As Dr. Pillai has shared, we've got to do something. So get out there and help people to establish a foundation inside of themselves where they can commune with the divine and commune with their higher self, that higher intelligence, and have this connection to these archetypes that are available. Whether you believe it or not, it's there. And we can tap into this energy of Shreem Brzee. Shreem gives us direction. So it means the goal. It means to be goal-oriented. It means to be able to navigate this earth plane with grace and ease. And it will find you a way out of this situation if, in fact, you are faced with this violence that's going on. And so being in isolation due to the coronavirus is actually a blessing in disguise. So stay in, stay safe. And then also to, not look at the internet so much. I could just feel all the tension of that few minutes of watching. And I feel for the people. Of course, we all do. So let's pray that that our prayers are being answered, and that's all we can do. And then please, please, please be safe. So we have been chanting since April 5th, and people have finished a 30-day challenge. They have also finished a 48-day challenge. It doesn't have to be consecutive. There are no hard and fast rules with Dr. Pillai. It's all about you. It's all about the individual. What are you doing to build prosperity, peace, a little piece of heaven on earth, even though it can be looking very bleak and very dark? This is the Kali Yuga. This is the time period we're in. We can't wish it away. We can't wish that something else was there, because that's not what it is. This is what it is. And then we can take that challenge that we see outside of ourselves and turn it inward, and then ask the divine, please, 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 you must intervene. And we all know what that is. Miracles have gotten people out of the worst situations. So, and the divine is so much more intelligent and can do things so much faster. So let's continue to do that. We are in our 56th day together, and then we will wrap this up every day in May. Will be ending tomorrow on the 31st. So my name is Sucharita, for those of you who don't know me, and wishing you all a very warm welcome. It was so wonderful to see many of you who jumped into Power Time practice today, earlier on at 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. And just a reminder, that time slot is going to be changing to this time slot, because we'll be wrapping up this Shreem Brzee chanting, and then Power Time practice will be here on Saturday night. So once a week, we will see what is the energy ahead and who we can call on in the spiritual realm that is part of our consciousness. So it's like we're not doing our spiritual path and then doing life separately. This is us. This is what we have. This is what we need now to keep us steady, to keep us calm, to keep us peaceful, and to keep us also alert, that we're not all spaced out in zombies, and just separate from the world. We are very alert. We're knowing what we need to do and knowing how to navigate these really intense times. So Dr. Pillai wants us to bring in the goddess Shreem Brzee. Brzee is the birthing of wealth consciousness. It's not just about money. It's about your health and well-being. It's about how to interact with others. So today being a Saturday, we can see in the world, Saturn is really hammering on people to wake up and do the right thing. And the negative side of Saturn is he will create these kinds of situations in people, so they will be able to deal with their anger and deal with their frustration and deal with their inability to be patient and persist through this and trust that there is a higher intelligence that's moving through us. They would prefer to be in suffering mode. And we all know what that is. When we go down that, we have to kind of hit the bottom of our consciousness to see that the only way out is the way in. And then we have to look for the light. So perhaps that is what has to happen. Although let's pray that not too many people are going to be harmed in any way. And God bless all the people who are serving society. The police and the guards are being brought in certain situations, certain places where they're burning the cars and attacking the police officers and so on. So, and then the rioting can go on and looting and all the rest. We don't need to get into that. So let's bring the consciousness of Shreem Brzee to be birthed into us, and then ask everyone at the level of the soul, even though we don't know one another, we have decided that we want to come together and be able to do something that is more purposeful at a global level. So there are many people from around the world I can see on the chat, and we can all hold each other's etheric hands at the level of the soul and connect through this, the grace and blessings of Dr. Pillai, who is a spiritual master. He doesn't really care about whether we're in a physical body or not, because he's evolved beyond that. But here we are, we're in the earth plane, and this is what we have. And the soul is within us. And good thing we have a physical body, because the soul needs some protection and needs to know how to help human beings. If we were just a bunch of souls, we'd be like a ghost-like and maybe scare people. So we will bring the consciousness of Shreem Brzee internally. On this Saturday, we'll have the support of Lord Saturn. If you do have a Sesame Lamp, or if you want to know how to make a Sesame Lamp, this is it right here. I'll just do a quick view of it so that people can see. So it's just a small lamp. And it can be metal, that preferred, because you're lighting a fire. So you want to make sure that you are being safe. So this is sesame oil. And then the black seeds in there are black sesame seeds. So this is what Saturn loves. And Saturn brings peace and prosperity, persistence, patience, discipline. He also helps us to get on our spiritual path in case we are overwhelmed or we have fear or anxiety, which is, everybody has that right now. So this is something that you can meditate on, or you can just have it in your space, and then you'll be honoring Lord Saturn, and then he will be burning away the karma that he has to dump in front of you. That's what he does. He's the deliverer of karma. So on a Saturday here in Toronto, Canada, Eastern Daylight Savings Time, we are still in Saturn's energy. And that's a good thing, because we're doing something spiritual and we're coming together. He's all about big groups coming together and praying and doing your spiritual practices. So that's something that you want to try out. And we've shared about it in previous videos, so you can review that for more details. So we also have a ninth waxing moon, and that's the moon for the goddess Saraswati. And she's the goddess of wisdom, intelligence, and knowing what to do and how to create your reality. So it's not wishing that you could have something be different than what it is in this, whatever is going on around you, but you can create a safe place. You can create that intelligence to be able to avoid those kinds of situations, or even conversations, or even unplug yourself from the internet. That would probably be a better idea. Or just to be alert about what's going on. Like I didn't know that these riots were going on, and I just thought, oh my God, this is perfect timing for us to be able to do something, pray for divine intervention, and get that under control. So not that we're going to do it, we're going to put our prayer, our intention out there, and the divine, let's see what happens. So thanks again, everyone, for joining, participating in this, building this consciousness of peace and prosperity for all, even during these really crazy times. And apparently, according to the Vedic astrologers who are out there on the YouTube, they are forecasting that it is going to get worse before it gets better. So it's good to know these forecasts and not to be afraid of it, but to be doing your spiritual practices so it can be karma light. Whenever we go towards the light, then the karma isn't so thick and dark and unmanageable. So it doesn't take too many people to come together and appeal to the divine. And we're not the only group. There are so many spiritual groups out there, people who are in the traditional religious cultures. They're all praying for one another. Everyone in my neighborhood is from a different tradition, a different culture. That's what we're here. We're a melting pot, and here in Canada, and everybody is praying. Everybody is doing their prayers, and very early in the morning, we see each other, and it's like, oh my goodness, hi, how you guys doing? So it's pretty darn amazing to be a part of this community as well. Globally, we can feel like, hey, we're not alone, and we can do something that is going to raise the vibration. And you never know who you're going to meet, and you never know what the divine is going to do for you to help you also with your finances and to navigate that as well. So we also have the star is Uttar Phalguni, and that is a star that will help us to connect with our soul. So that is, its energy is associated with the sun. The sun is transiting the second house. It's the natural second house, Taurus, and that is all about money and finances and what we're saying to one another. It's about family. It's about how we communicate. It's about what we take in, whether it's through food or beverage or communication. So instead of being fearful and then popping a bunch of pills or, smoking crazily, it's not that you have to stop smoking. Nobody's telling you what you need to do, but you just got to keep yourself in check and see what you're doing with this mouth. And maybe you might be eating because out of anxiety, and then you just don't feel well. You're overeating, or you're doing the anxiety eating or emotional eating. So just be alert of all these behaviors that could be a little bit out of control. Bring it back in with Shreem Brzee. And Shreem Brzee does work on the brain and then helps with all those kinds of reactions versus your response. So your response is that ability to respond to these types of crises, these types of situations, and what we find ourselves, how we're responding to whatever is going on. So it brings this alertness to us, and our attention is says, okay, listen, I was fine before all this happened. So why am I smoking more or drinking more, putting poisons in or putting more food in that's not good for you? You're already full, you're fine. So just be aware of those kinds of things, and also speaking about it too much with one another, because these are uncertain times. So speaking about it more, maybe speak about it as in God bless them, keep blessing people, keep blessing yourself. We are all God and goddesses inside. So God wants to do that. So please use your mouth to bless people versus, oh my God, the left versus the right, and the good versus the bad, and this is a war, and this is, if you want to get into that, that may be your karma, but is it really going to help the situation collectively? So this is what we can do. We're very intelligent beings, and bringing the divine in and doing a little dance with the divine and having our soul lit up today is going to help to radiate out. And you're going to hear that during the chanting practice, which is a deep meditation or communion with the goddess that we're bringing in through the chanting. So it's not just a bunch of sounds we're going to say and then, count to 1,008 and we're done, okay, bye. It's not going to be like that at all. These are keys that unlock the secrets of your soul. And it's all about creating peace from within and breathing that in and out. So you're going to hear me saying, imagine in some body part, like the third eye, imagine putting the light in, and then that light is going to explode in all directions beyond this third dimensional plane. And why? Because we need to reach out to the cosmos. Look, this is a dark plane. Please light us up. Come in. So we're going to be literally sending out SOS. Now, if you try to follow all that light going out, you'll be in your karmic mind. You'll try to be sensing things. You're using your sense organs to try to do something. So don't try. Just allow it to go. And then it will breathe back into you some divine experience. And then you can visualize it within. But if you're trying to look, okay, is it going right, left, up, down? Then you're going to be distracted. So the light going out is just going out. It's healing energy going out. It's asking different dimensional beings to come in. So fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, whatever the dimension is, it could be infinite. We don't know because we're always evolving. Even if the scriptures have said it's so X number of dimensions only exist, how do we know? It could be more. So we're always open. We're open to something new. We want to create this eternal moment with one another. And whatever we're putting in this moment is peace, prosperity, enlightenment, prayers, blessings, and feel that. Feel it is done. So without further ado, let's get into it. If you can't chant fast, just grab onto the sound Brzee and imagine it being birthed into every cell of your being. So from head to toe, Brzee is there. And then when we're focusing on a body part, try to stay with that body part and then just be not hammering it, but driving those sounds deep into the body part. So it will break through. That's what people have been sharing. I finally had a breakthrough. I not only got one job, I got two jobs. I not only had one client in these turbulent times, I'm booked up all week. So this is how the divine will work. And this is how we can work with these archetypes coming in through Shreem and Brzee, and then everyone to support us. Of course, Dr. Pillai is going to give us the grace and blessings for everything to be a success for us this evening. Let's get into it. So closing your eyes and then putting your attention internally. We're going to call on Ganesha, who removes obstacles. And imagine this reddish orangish light pouring down your legs into your feet and toes. So although we're shutting the world out with our eyes closed, the world is existing all around us. So we're going to stay steady and stay focused and allow this light to reveal itself, and also the sounds of Ganesha to remove obstacles internally and externally. You can be like an X marks the spot for him to come in and then radiate out all this energy. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Now focus your attention on your backbone. Imagine a ray shooting up the backbone, piercing the chakras that are stacked on top of one another in the spine of the subtle body. We're using our bodies, our minds, to access the throb of the divine. The light energy, the sound vibrations. This light pierces the top of the skull and goes into the space. Like an SOS, seeking help, support, guidance. Go up, up, up with your consciousness. Now we'll activate the chakras starting at the base of the spine. Move up to the heart center, middle of the chest. Move up to the throat, clear the throat. Move in to the third eye, the middle of the brain. Om. Float back down to the base of the spine. Connect with the earth element all the way down into the legs, into the ground. Stabilize your practice. Na, 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 na. Move into the navel chakra, the belly. Fill it with water. Ma, 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 ma. Move up to the heart center, middle of the chest, also down the arms and hands. Set them on fire. She, 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 she. Move up to the throat, the mouth, the nostrils. Connect with the air element, the prana, the life force. Wa, 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 wa. Now move into the two eyeballs. Keep them steady, still. Feel the right and left brain. Connect with the ether, the akash, or space. Ya, 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 ya. Now imagine Dr. Pillai appearing before you in a form you're familiar with, or it can be a light. Receive 2 rays of light entering your eyes, piercing your eyeballs, cleansing the windows to your soul. The eyes are the windows to the soul. Cleanse the eyes. Put these rays of light coming from Dr. Pillai's eyes into your eyes. Then another ray of light enters your forehead, pierces it, activates the pituitary, the pineal, the third eye, coming from Dr. Pillai's third eye. Be still, lock on to these lights, these rays. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Now Vishwamitra, the great guru, who was once an emperor king, and he meditated and meditated to bring Brzee into the earth plane at this point in time when we need it the most. Connect with 3 beams of light coming from his eyes and his third eye into your eyes and third eye. Lock on to the beams and birth Brzee from head to toe. Om Vishwamitraya Namaha. Om Vishwamitraya Namaha. Om Vishwamitraya Namaha. Now move into your third eye. Imagine a flame in your third eye, or you may even see it in your mind's eye. You may feel the heat or the fire. Feel the middle of your brain. The goddess Saraswati appears, the goddess of intelligence, wisdom, creativity, music, dance, taking us into states of peace, She's a white robed and then is on a white lotus or a white swan. The image is important. We have to focus on something that will call her in and then imprint in our minds, oh yes, we connected. Even if it's a flash. Om Aim Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Aim Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Aim Saraswatyai Namaha. Third eye, flame, the goddess of wisdom, intelligence, creativity. Om Aim Sucharita Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Aim Sucharita Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Aim Sucharita Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Aim Anuradha Kramana Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Aim Anuradha Kramana Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Aim Anuradha Kramana Saraswatyai Namaha. Keep your attention on your third eye. Feel the flame of your third eye, breathing in and out this divine energy. These beings are like the light of thousands and millions of suns. To commune with them, we want to resonate with their light and the vibration of their energy. Focus on the third eye. We'll begin our practice. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. The light explodes beyond the third eye in all directions. Shift dimensions. Bring your attentional energy to the back of your skull. Tuck your attentional energy under the back of the skull and inside the brain, the middle to the back part of your brain. Ask your intuition to take you to the cerebellum, the little brain or the mini brain. It's packed with neurons that fire and communicate with the divine through the back door of your brain. Light it up. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. The light explodes beyond the cerebellum, beyond the body in all directions. Shift dimensions. Now your attentional energy goes to the brain, the front of the brain, the sides of the brain, the back of the brain, the top of the brain, and also inside the middle of the brain. The neurons are communicating with one another. They light up, sparks fly, creating a landing pad for the divine to come into the brain. Light it up. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. The light explodes beyond the body in all directions. Shift dimensions. Now bring your attentional energy into your nostrils. Send beams of light up the nostrils. Where the two nostrils meet at the forehead, the beams of light activate the pituitary, the pineal, the third eye. Light up the nostrils, focus there. Light up the third eye. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee. The light explodes beyond the nostrils, the third eye, in all directions. Shift dimensions. Now bring your attention into your mouth. Feel the light lighting up the insides of the cheeks, and then also the teeth, tongue are lit up, filled with light, back of the throat. Feel the mouth energy expanding to allow this light to come in. And the sounds. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee. The light explodes beyond the mouth in all directions. Shift dimensions. Now pour your attentional energy into your throat. Fill up your throat and your neck with blue light. Imagine a laser beam of blue light piercing the throat at the Adam's apple. Receive that light that is healing. The energy is going to diffuse stubborn karmas that are blocking your progress, both materially and spiritually. Fill up the neck, the shoulders, the arms, the hands with karma diffusing light, the chest, the back. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee. The light explodes beyond the body in all directions, taking the stubborn karma with it, dumping it into the universal recycling bin. Let it go. Shift dimensions. Pour your tensional energy into your windpipe, bronchial tubes that feed the lungs with air, prana, life force. Go down to the bottom of the lungs, expand them with the light and the sound vibrations. Release any negative, congested emotions that are sucking the life out of you. The lungs, the light, the sounds. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee. The light explodes beyond the lungs in all directions. Shift dimensions. Now bring your attentional energy back up to your eyes. Feel your eyeballs. Fill them with light. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee. The light explodes beyond the eyeballs in all directions. Shift dimensions. Your attentional energy goes into your ears. Pierce the eardrums with beams of light, entering the brain, entering the whole head, lighting it up from the inside. The face starts to tingle with heat of the light. The scalp is tingling. The hairs are lighting up, standing on end. The whole aura around the head, or the halo around the head, is lighting up. There is only light, no head. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. The light explodes beyond the head in all directions. Shift dimensions. Pour your attentional energy into the torso of your body, the front, the back, the sides. The light enters the inside, lights up the heart, the lungs, the liver, the gallbladder, the pancreas, spleen, into the guts, all the way down into the pelvic region. Light up the reproductive organs, organs of elimination, kidneys, adrenals. Release any energetic toxins with this light and the sound vibrations in the organs of the body. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. The light explodes beyond the body in all directions. Shift dimensions. Pour your attentional energy down your legs, into your feet, even into the ground. Stabilize your practice. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. The light explodes beyond the legs in all directions, even down into the earth. Shift dimensions. And now your attention goes into the chakra system in the subtle body. Allow them to light up. Use your intuition. Just allow the process. Keep the mind and the intellect out of it. Light up. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. The light explodes beyond the chakras into subtler realms, shift dimensions. Now for our final round of bringing in the light and the sound vibrations of the goddess. Scan your body from head to toe, internally as well as outside in the body aura. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee. Think Shreem Brzee inside the body, mind, soul. Let go of the thought. Be present. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Peace to the body, peace to the mind, peace to the soul, peace to the environment, peace to the world, peace to the universe. And just let go. As you're coming back, take note of what is going on inside of you. You can make a prayer to Dr. Pillai for guiding your soul to connect with everyone here. You can thank everyone as well for creating this space, this opportunity to bring in the divine, lighten your karmic load and the load of the world. Pray for whatever it is that you want to help with manifesting, and then pray especially for those who need it the most right now, those who are really, really struggling. And pray for peace, 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 peace. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So thank you everyone for joining. Those of you who need to go, we'll see you tomorrow for the final Shreem Brzee chanting and feeling all that fabulous energy that's been building and building and building as it has today. For those of you who are going to stay, now that we're in this state of receptivity, we've invited the goddess to come in. We feel her. And now we want to see her or experience some message from her. So we will do a Aggieland meditation. And what we'll do is we'll be adjusting the camera here and then asking the divine to come in. The ghee, the divine loves the ghee. The ghee is like gold. So we need that consciousness, that currency, that energy coming from within so we can attract that in our lives. And then no matter what is going on in the world, we are going to have the guidance of and the grace and the blessings of the goddess, all the gods. So I just refilled the ghee lamp because it went down during the meditation, and that's always a good indication. This is a spiritual science, so we use all these tools as a technology to see if we are progressing. So you might see some colors, you might see some images, and then people have been sending me the photos that they take either during the practice or they'll watch it afterwards and then snap it in the recording, off the recording, and you can really see the beings. So thanks to those people who are sharing, because I'm just seeing a flame, and you're really getting the goddess to come in or the gods to come in and give you your message that you want in life at this moment. So I'm going to step out of the view and the lights will go down. You'll see the lamp and enjoy the dance with the divine. So it'll be about 9 minutes. And then what will happen is I will get the alarm that will go off. It will be a chime actually. And then I will call you back to wrap it up. So the lights are going down. You're gazing with your eyes, not bug-eyed, but you're just allowing your eyeballs to relax. And your attentional energy is in the middle of your brain. And you're going to experience whatever the divine wants you to experience. If a mantra comes and goes, let it come and go. Enjoy your practice. and begin to let go. And as you are coming back to yourselves, you can keep your eyes closed or open. Make a prayer. Pour anything that has come up for you that is causing disturbances to your peace of mind. Dump it into the flame. Burn it. Purify it. Release it. Final prayer to Dr. Pillai. Everybody here, whatever it is that you want help with manifesting, and pray for those who need it the most. Peace to the world. Take your time to come back. Adjusting the camera. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. For those of you who need to go, and we will see you tomorrow for our final Shreem Brzee chanting session. Those of you who are going to stay, I'll take a look at the chat and see what's happening. I can barely speak. There's so much peace. What about you? Bhavana V. Amma, thank you so much for sharing Om Aim Hreem Sarvalokaya Dityaya Shiva Satguru Bhavaya Swaha. That's who came in right at the end. And I was singing that. And then I looked to the chat and there it is. So how do we know that we are connecting with the divine? And how do we know if we're all on the same page, so to speak, energetically, spiritually? How do we know what is the right thing for us that the divine wants us to do? Because the divine is doing everything. It uses every opportunity here on the earth plane to teach us something. So it's so wonderful to see people's comments with the gratitude is so immense. And that's what we need to do. We have to be so grateful for what we have. Instead of saying, oh, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. Especially during these turbulent times. You don't think about what you want to manifest from Toys R Us. You think about, okay, I need to be peaceful, calm. I need to be present and alert to the situations. This is crisis. And maybe you're not in crisis, but people around you are. So you've got to be the strong, steady eye in the storm. So never mind about going to Toys R Us and getting this, that, and the other thing. Who cares if the world is blown up? Toys R Us, gone. So when someone says, should I pray for more than one thing? We just did. We prayed for everyone. So whatever you want, it can be a Christmas list. But as we're going through these turbulent times, please be sensible and use your your time and your energy wisely, meaning that this is what it is right now. So keep you safe, keep you happy, keep the people in your life healthy in their body, their mind, because they might not be on a spiritual path. So we've got to hold that light. And yeah, someone just posted, the money will be there. Don't worry. And the thought came to me is perhaps we need a reset button. I don't know what that's going to look like, but that thought was really strong. Like, how will any of the generations after us, how will they pay off the trillions and trillions and gazillion trillions that each country collectively it won't get paid off. Not the way that we experience economy now and debt and so on. It's a consciousness, and we've inherited it. It's a mess. So sometimes things will happen to shake everything up so it can bring in a new economy. And I love it because we've coined the term here through Veronica Brzee economy, Shreem Brzee economy. If we put that in the space, hashtag Brzee economy, hashtag Shreem Brzee economy, we're asking the divine to decide to get into those people who create this society at those levels. Would be so awesome if Shreem Brzee could come in and put the hands in the spiritual people, put the hands in the people who want to create a better world, a better economy, a more intelligent way of being. And perhaps it might be a reset button. So we'll see. I don't know. That thought came to me. I'm not thinking these thoughts, because where do thoughts come from? It comes from the past lives. It comes from the planets. It comes from your surroundings. It comes from logging onto the internet and everybody's opinion. What is the truth? What is right? What is wrong? But that thought just came so deep and so high, and in this potent space of where it's all about bringing the divine, having the divine intervene and do it. So, yeah, Shreem Brzee will work it out. Ruth is saying peace is here, over here in this planet. Exactly. Shashmita is asking, when we dump karma into the light to the guru, what do we do after that? You just say thank you. It's like, what do you do when you take your garbage out to the roadside? Do you sort through it? Do you take some back? Nope. You just leave it there. Truck comes by, pick up, dumps it, leaves the empty cans. So you just have an empty can, meaning you're empty. Now fill it up with the grace and the blessings. We consciously avoid what we dumped, or we relax and think we've already released ourselves. So do we have to care? Absolutely not, Shishmita. So I hope the garbage can dumping is going to be good for you. Michael's saying, I totally agree. We should feel grateful. When we're full of gratitude, then we're saying thank you to everything. Even thank you to the divine for intervening, because maybe in this wonderful and weird world we live in, and we always have. So this isn't our first kick at the can. Our soul is come around and come around and come around and said, I want to play in that sandbox. And then we don't know how to play nicely with one another. And we just build the sandcastles and they get crushed, or we destroy someone else's. So this is what the life is here on the earth plane, is just building sandcastles to the sky. And thinking that, oh, this is the only way to do it. So the way of the masters, and why perhaps your soul has been drawn to chant a mantra. What the heck? Okay. You are remembering that these are the keys that unlock the secrets to a type of consciousness that we really, really need. Otherwise, we would only think the thoughts of the sandcastles. So we want the divine to come in and change our thinking mind, our emotional mind, our spiritual energy, that connection, upgrade us, and then have that radiating out, so that intelligence is going out, not that you're directing it, you're just being present to it, and then it is making the shift, the changes. But we've also used this body, used this mind, used our emotions with wisdom. So it's not so much about good, bad, right, wrong. We just are present to all of it, and then going deep into it, allowing that energy to be out, and then manifest from there. Nalini is saying, huge thanks and gratitude, love to everyone whose presence and intentions make the short moment together so spiritually beautiful and powerful. Beautifully said, Nalini, and that's what we need. We need people to just be quiet. Settle, 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 settle the energy. And then go deep. Shift out of this third dimensional plane. Bring that intelligence from higher realms and be that. And then keep building that. So it's not a one-off and it's done. We're building that just like we can build fear. We can build anger, frustration, conflict, arguments. Yeah, but we can be complaining. Oh, but we're right. We can have righteous anger. Great. How's that going? So the saint Vishwamitra, who is such a wonderful example because he was a king, emperor, and he went into deep, deep states of meditation because he found that he didn't have the powers that the yogis had, the great yogis had, who they didn't even care about anything other than to bring the divine into the earth plane, and everything was taken care of for them. So he's brought this sound, Brzee, out of his meditations. And we get to bring it in to the world, especially when it is needed the most. So something in your soul said, hey, I tap into that realm and I want to do something to bring it in. So keep doing that. Chant your Shreem Brzees 1008 in the morning, afternoon, and evening, if you can. If you can't, then listen to it at least. Dr. Pillai has so many videos out there. And then you can have it playing in the background on volume 1. You can barely even hear it. The vibration is there. And that's radiating out into your space, and it's breathing in and breathing out. And then you're in there, and whoever else is sharing your space, your family or whoever, is breathing in and breathing out. If you live on your own, your neighborhood is, you are that beacon of light, that beacon of Brzee consciousness, and it's breathing in and breathing out. Ruth is saying the key is attitude. Absolutely. You can do remedies. You can do chants. You can go on pilgrimages. You can say, well, I'm so adept at reading Sanskrit or Tamil or some divine language, or, different types of scriptures, and you have this deep understanding. But then you're just about it. Is that going to give you the experience? And perhaps it does for you if you're really deep into it. But if you're just saying, well, I know this, I know that, what are you full of? You're full of this attitude, much like Vishwamitra, where he was so angry. He was so mad because he didn't have these spiritual powers. And then he got the spiritual powers and he was still so mad and angry. And he's like, oh my God, what the heck? And then he really had to go deep into it and keep going deep into it. And what he found was he was trying to attain even on the spiritual path. He was trying to have a spiritual ego, like a king, the king of all the yogis. Who cares about that? Because what we want to do is we want to grab something from this spiritual realm that can be useful for all, especially during dark times. And he brought in Brzee. So attitude of gratitude is really what's going to help us beyond everything else that we're doing. So if we're not grateful for the experience, then go ahead, chant some more. See what the divine is going to do for you. Judy Angles posted, the group of souls who gather here for this practice are so loving, kind, and full of compassion. Absolutely. The sacred space is very peaceful and healing. It's a blessing to bask in this energy. Even if it is just for this time, you've done something that you can't imagine. There are no words how it is going to transform your life, because you can't just tap into this energy, bathe in it for a while, and it not do something for the rest of your life. It's transformational. And why? Because Dr. Pillai said, hey, come here, do this. This is how I can help you evolve. This is how I can help you with your manifestations. This is how I can help you to progress. This is how I can connect you to community, because you kind of feel like you're all out there scrambling in the dark, suffering, not knowing. So he's pulled everyone here, and trust that, just that you showed up, and then get to experience this space, and who knows what that intelligence is going to do for you. Nani's saying, exactly, with the more we feed into the negativity, the deeper you get into the hole. So it's best to seek the higher intelligence, and this brings so much peace and comfort. Yeah, because if we are in those dark moments, and we've had them, and we will continue to, all the saints, all those saints who prayed their whole life, they would have these dark, dark nights of the soul. They would feel like they're totally under attack, just like Christ was. And all the divine beings, when they came to the earth plane, they said, oh my God, this is a big deal. What did I get myself into? So they have those dark thoughts, like looking around and being angry about the whole situation, and is what it is. And then when we can be calm and centered every day, and just do a little bit of that every day, then we will be building that consciousness. We will have that attitude of gratitude. Thank you. Thank you for everything that I have, even though, my God, I don't know what's going to happen today, tomorrow. And it's not going to be about toilet paper. It will be about food, shelter. If it gets out of the control, if it gets into the hands of the wrong people, we can't manifest that. Everyone must evolve. Everyone must evolve. So we hold those thoughts and leave them in this space to plant them and let that grow into the consciousness. Michael's saying, I'm planning to do the walking ritual for Dr. Pillai. Can I walk around Babaji's picture 108 times and pray after the ritual? You can continue to walk around as much as it takes you. If you can only do 9 times, because it can be a bit dizzy if you're walking around a chair. It's not a very big space. So you're just walking around a chair or a table. You have the picture of Dr. Pillai there, the image, and then you can do your little puja and just say, okay, with this walk, it's as if you're here. And then as you go around, this is a spiritual practice. It's a tool. So try it out, experiment, experiment with it. And you'll find yourself thinking of your karma that you just want to dump at him. And that's what he has said. I'm a vacuum cleaner. I change the destiny because I vacuum all the negativity from the people. So it's a great technology. And then as you go around, you'll create this momentum. So please have a chair nearby, because you will feel the vortex you're creating. It's a no kidding. Even if you're going slow, you're going around and round. So you're creating like a funnel. And then the divine is coming in. And then it is changing your DNA. It's helping you to evolve. And so you might feel a little dizzy, sit down. And then that might be it for that time. So, Michael, if you set it for 108, great, go for it. You can do how many ever it takes for you to have that effect that something shifted. When we say shift dimensions, you are creating a portal or a doorway for the divine to come in. Why? It's a picture of Dr. Pillai. He's the key that unlocks all that. I don't know how to do that. So you just do that, and then you'll feel it. And then the karma will change because you did the thing. Just like you take a Tylenol or an aspirin when you have a pounding headache. You don't really need to know what it does to you. You just need to know the pain is gone away. You don't need to know the biochemistry and all the rest. Pratima saying, I'll miss you. Thank God I have the recording. And that's the beauty of it too, is the people who are just joining or you haven't been coming for all the days. We're wrapping it up. And this is what it is. However, the beauty of technology, it's recorded. So you can just even fast forward it, or if you want to listen to it, there are some sprinkles of some tips and practice tools and other things that are going on that you might be aware of and that will help you. And also reading the chat that people share, and then my comments on what everyone has shared is a learning experience as well. So you're not just coming in and doing the meditation and leaving and go, what? I don't really know what happened. So you can watch the recordings. Melba's saying each time the Emperor's light rays is mentioned, I feel his generous heart and he has brilliant blue eyes. Thank you, Emperor Vishwamitra, for giving Dr. Pillai. That's it. Shreem Brzee is the key that will unlock the secret of your soul and all the souls. Everyone on the earth plane, we can just start with one, us. Self-peace and prosperity is world peace and prosperity, because you're just going to breathe that in and out. What is the best way to use Tirnalakantam in conjunction with Shreem Brzee? However you want. Just say the mantra. Shreem Brzee is a karma-busting mantra as well. Tirnalakantam, Tiro Nila, Nila is blue. Kantam is throat. So you're saying, bring me a holy throat, because the karma is stuck in the throat. So Tiru is like holy, sacred. So help me to speak not karmic words, or to take in and swallow, not karmic things. I want to speak and bring in the intelligence of the divine. So Kantam, throat, Nila, the blue light, and then Shreem Brzee, just what we did. So just review in your mind, how we did it in the practice, or you can watch this and rewind it. When we went to the throat, the shoulders, the arms and hands. We do everything with our arms and hands. We carry the weight of our karma on our shoulders. And all the energy that comes up from the chakras, it gets stuck here. It can't get to the third eye, which is where you can manifest, because the divine is there. So we're kind of stuck. So it makes sense that is the spot. And that's how when we get sick, we take in a bug through our food or saliva or whatever, droplets, air droplets. And then you take it in and your throat. Oh, I have a sore throat. I hope I don't get sick. Did I miss anything? Yeah, Salvarasan is saying taking a bath in salt water will diffuse negative karma. Absolutely. You just don't want to stay in the salt water too long, maybe like 10 minutes, because it gets really itchy. And then don't put it on your hair. It makes your hair fall out. Gina's saying, may the divine bless us all with peace in this difficult times. And this is so beautiful. This is an opportunity too, where because we're all gods and goddesses, this consciousness is within us and we feel it. It's so palpable. Bless everyone. Put your prayers there, because this is going to be eternal. So people who are going to be watching this later on, they will be inspired. They'll feel like, oh my God, I'm a part of this group. I'm just reading it, but I feel the blessings. How many people say God bless you every day to you? How many times do you say God bless to somebody else? Try it out. It'll be weird at first, but you know, like Dr. Pillai says, you kind of fake it till you make it. But you can't really fake it here because it's so real. It's so easy to. It's so natural too. So thank you for the blessings. Oren, Mike, thank you. Sibani is saying, Suchita, thank you. I'm so grateful. A miracle has happened. I was so bothered about something, and you shared something about burning that in the ghee lamp flame. I feel so relieved. This is the technology. So when we do things that this has been passed through the generations and it's across the cultures, however, somehow we're not able to activate this. And thank God we have the internet, because like some people said, I don't have access to ghee, but I'm gazing in the ghee lamp and that you have on the screen, and it's just like amazing. So yeah, those people who think you just had the world's worst meditation because you couldn't stay focused and you're not feeling all touchy-feely and blissed out or peaceful, you're feeling actually quite irritated and ratchety, meaning you're ratcheting your memories or the karma or whatever, you know, and that is going on. Take all that. It's come to the surface and just pour it in to the ghee lamp. Like Vishwamitra. He was a great king and he had this huge ego as a great king. I'm the king. And then he became a great rishi, a great saint. And he said, hey, I'm a great saint. I'm just going to burn everybody down because I got these superpowers. And then he realized, oh, whoa, what? That's not what I'm here to do. So he had to really go and burn that karma so deeply in him. And he inspires us because we experience that. All right. Are we complete? DJ is saying, since I started the Shreem Brzee chanting, it gives me a very light feelings, but so high with spirit. Really, so thank you. You're very welcome. It's all Dr. Pillai's grace and blessings and everybody here. Creating that space, the peace. Tina is saying, I start the meditation feeling empty and sad and feeling full, and at the end, feeling full and content. Beautiful. Dirya Lakshmi, that's your name. Nice. And the people who are saying, please pray for my family or whatever it is that you're praying for, you're asking the divine in this space. So God bless you and let the divine bless you. The wealth workshop, wealth activation workshop is happening tomorrow. I don't know if you're still here, Judy Engel. Can you post the link for people to join that? It's free. It's with Dr. Pillai. It will be at 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Savings Time or 12 noon p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. So however that converts to you in your part of the world, please tap in because he's going to be blessing you. And this is the compassion where you can receive this spiritual transmission. He will be sharing the message, but he will also be activating you, the wealth inside of you, especially if you can't jump into paid programs right now. So get it. And the more people who join, then collectively we can really feel the vibration, that throb of that initiation from Dr. Pillai. Minas is saying, should we keep the lemon with us for a few days? No, once. That's it. Get rid of it. You can roll it around wherever you want. You can sleep with the lemon. Definitely. Magic is asking, what should I think about? Just dump everything into it. It is, instead of it being in you, you're asking it to go into the lemon and then cut it. Get rid of it. Don't let it hang around. Melissa's saying the process of totally being run and controlled, anarchy. I'm in New York. These monsters are lighting police cars on fire and doing the same on the bridges and streets. Yes, prayer is what we can do. So yeah, I'm so sorry that this is happening. And I'm so grateful to my friend who alerted me to it, because I wouldn't know. And that's the divine intervention, because this is something we can do. So if we have felt the peace here today, the peace begins with us inside. So even as much as we want to say whatever those people are doing, they are lost souls, to say the least. They're completely gone from the reality of what is really needed at this time. It's peace and calm and clear thinking, not unintelligent behavior that we put on the repeat button, historically speaking. But perhaps that is only what we can do here on the earth plane right now. But then bringing in the divine and all of us committing to that, and just noticing, oh my God, I'm even thinking how terrible, you watch how you just plant that seed about us versus them. Instead, you just are present to it and you check, okay, what's going on inside of me about this? And am I attached to it? Am I charged about it? Am I judging it? And we all will. This is what it is. Am I fearful about it? And then we've created that. So it's such a beautiful spiritual tool to be able to use Shreem Brzee and just erase. Because completely, when we have those thoughts, we have to erase it, because we can't beat ourselves up. Oh, I missed it again. So what are we committing to is putting Shreem Brzee in everything. Sprinkle it. We're building it. So imagine you're planting, you've got this garden and it's got a bunch of weeds going on. And there's stuff that's burnt out from the sun, and there's just stuff that's going underground, and it's a scary place. But we're just going to keep planting the seeds of Shreem Brzee and keep pulling that other stuff out of that garden as we're planting the seeds of Shreem Brzee. And it's going to go all over the whole thing, such that it will choke out any darkness. Shreem Brzee is the mantra. You're here. Why ask for another mantra? This is it. So keep doing that and be present to what it is that's going on inside of all. This is our spiritual practice. This is what we're dealing with, and who are we in it? What is our choice? Is it to cultivate? And I could feel myself being fearful and upset, and I was just like, okay, enough. That energy is just so bringing it to be resonating inside and out. And it's like, no, we're committing to whatever is going on. And thank you for the reminder that we need to really commit to Shreem Brzee, to bring that intelligence into the earth plane. There won't be that stuff then going on. So if we're bumping up against it, we really haven't broken through it internally. And that's what we need to focus on. And we'll always be challenged. So thanks for your comment, Melissa, because I felt myself going there too. And I was like, no, stop. Focus. Put it into practice. Pour it into the lamp. Pour it into your spiritual chanting session that you have. Dedicate 1008 to something that you just say, okay, I'm leaving it up to the divine. And you just dedicate that 1008. It's not even about you, but it is about you because you're the one doing it. But it's a positive or a more purposeful, or turning that energy around into like Vishwamitra did. He had all this rage and arrogance and pride and anger and frustration and depression, dark, dark nights of his soul. And even all the highest attainments, he was like, no, that's not it. That's not it. And what he realized was he was so attached to all of it. Instead of just being present to it. If it comes, great, thank you so much. If it's horrible, okay, great, thank you so much. This too shall pass. This is what it always is. However, the suffering of others is sometimes jumps into us, and then we just take it on as our reality when it's just being present to it, and then asking the divine to go out in there and make everything to be calm and contained as much as possible. And then the rest, if those souls decided to do this, then they need to learn something, and the divine is part and parcel of them as well. But be safe. The tree for the cow. Oh, you mean behind Kamadenu? You can do Shreem Brzee, or you can do the Gayatri. Okay, is that it? All right, everyone, let's wrap it up then. Thank you again for this wonderful session. You can feel the peace coming in. We breathed it in, breathe it out, got rid of some karma. This is what we're here to do, is keep it in check, and then also evolve spiritually. So we'll see you tomorrow for our final Shreem Brzee session as we know it, as we have come to love and enjoy being together and enjoying each other's grace and blessings, and more to you and your families. Be safe and keep cultivating Shreem Brzee. So God bless you all. God bless Dr. Pillai for bringing us together and experiencing this. And we'll see you tomorrow. Namaste.